primordial occurrences influenced the sense of mythical poetry of the Icelanders. There is a text that defines the spirit of the people. It exists only in a single manuscript. For Iceland, it is as important as the Dead Sea Scrolls are for Israel. The Codex was given as a present to the King of Denmark by an Icelandic bishop in the 17th century, hence its name, the Royal Codex or Codex Regius. In 1971, Denmark returned it to Iceland. Knowing that it constituted the soul of the country, the Codex was put on Denmark's largest battleship and escorted by a whole fleet. No amount of money in the world would be enough to purchase this manuscript from Iceland, although it is battered and crumpled and filled with holes. In the opening passage called the Prophecy of the Seeress, there is an apocalyptic vision of the end of the pagan gods. This seems to describe a huge volcanic event. Neath the sea, the land sinketh, the sun dimmeth, from the heavens fall the fair bright stars, gusheth forth steam and gutting fire, to very heaven soar the hurtling flames. The fates I fathom, yet farther I see, of the mighty gods the engulfing doom. Comes the darksome dragon flying, Herzog, upwards from the Nether fells. He bears in his pinions, as the plains he overflies, naked corpses. Now he will sink.
Can I ask about some of the one or two more books that you ask your students at the Rogue Film School to read?
Yeah, for example, I brought with me the Poetic Edda, but I also, for example, have in it a very, very fine book. It's a truly wonderful piece of reading. And the Poetic Edda, for example. And I was somebody who has held the Codex Regius in my hands twice in my life already, as little crumpled parchment text, which is a little bit like the Dead Sea Scrolls for Israel. That's a book for Iceland. It goes into this mythological life and description of the creation of the world. And it's very, very strong, and I always try to tell people who make documentaries, go read the Edda, read the depth and the myth that can all of a sudden come out of very simple things that you do not notice unless you have a sensory organ for the mythological. Here it says, Völuspá, Edda, the creation of the world. And here, in earliest times did Ymir live, was nor sea nor land, nor salty waves, neither earth was there nor upper heaven, but a gaping nothing, and green things nowhere. Was the land then lifted aloft by Búr's sons, who made Midgard, the matchless earth. The matchless earth is just very, very beautiful. shone from the south. The sun on dry land, on the ground then grew, the greensward soft. And on, and a few stanzas later, in the text, there is about the creation of dwarfs. And all of a sudden, this text about the creation of the world rattles down 84 names of dwarfs. And it's more beautiful than any rapper from the inner cities, the kind of rhythm and the kind of beauty of it. And it was taken, these idiot scholars believe that it is an interpolation of later times, which probably it was. But it doesn't matter. In the Codex Regius, it is an integral part. And here they hide it in an appendix, in a footnote. And it's just really, really beautiful. I read a little bit into it, if I don't bore you with names of dwarfs. Then gathered together the gods for council, the holy hosts, and held converse, who the deep-dwelling dwarfs was to make of Brimmir's blood and Blind's bones. Motosognir rose, mightiest ruler of the kin of dwarfs, but Durin next molded many man-like bodies of dwarfs under earth, as Durin bade them. Ni Nithi, Northri and Suthri, Austri, Vestri, Altjof Dvalin, Nar and Nine, Nipping Dine, Bifur, Böfur, Bumbur, Nori, An and Onar, Ai, Mjöt Vitnir, Weig and Gandalf, Windalf Drein, Tek and Thorin, Thor Wit and Lit, Nar and Regin, Nirat and Ratzwit. Now is reckoned the roaster of dwarfs. So it actually, those were only the first 40. You see this kind of love for these things. I cannot describe it, and it. You see, reading this, these things have not changed my life, but they have made it better. They have not changed the course of my life, but it has made it better.